Good evening. The purpose of our time this evening is to discuss a request for funding for resources to host curriculum-based community nights where teachers and students can showcase learning from project-based learning units. And I'll work to define a couple of those key terms throughout this presentation. So just to start off with, we've defined project-based learning in Wayne. Teachers have defined it as challenging students to use or apply knowledge and learning to a relevant, authentic, real-world problem or challenge that oftentimes impacts their community. It gives students an opportunity to practice and develop 21st century skills like critical thinking, collaboration, and communication that we in Wayne know students will need to be successful beyond our school system. The two key components of PBL that pertain to our time and highlighted here, and their public presentation of product and a partnership with an expert or stakeholder. Those will make more sense as we move through this presentation. So the current status of PBL within our district is that we have well over 1,000 units planned and implemented over the past 6 or 7 years in all 5 secondary buildings and some elementary buildings. This impacts over 300 classrooms and at least 7,000 students. And PBL has been embedded within each high school improvement plan, and we in Wayne have really committed that project-based learning is a core experience to a Wayne Township education. And this connects beyond just Wayne Township. When the state first adopted the Common Core standards, which are linked here, and we got a chance to look at the assessments associated with those standards, they look very much like project-based learning units. As you can see here, according to Markham, the internationally benchmarked standards will emphasize creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, presentation and demonstration, problem solving, research and inquiry, and career readiness. Successful implementation of the new standards will require innovative best practices that persuade and prepare students to engage in thoughtful problem solving, as well as encourage better performance through more sophisticated, broad-based assessments. PBL, well done, accomplishes those goals, but old-style projects won't come close. And another piece of research here that kind of connects is that the Common Core standards are infused with language that closely parallels the language of PBL in the sense that there is heightened emphasis on the acquisition of both necessary content and the 21st century skills. Through a project-based learning method, students are provided the opportunity to gain a deeper sense of not only understanding of the necessary content standards, but also an opportunity to see how their learning has a direct correlation to their immediate community. Students must become savvy in the art of professional communication, collaborating with their classmates, and being involved with community members. So in Wayne Township, we really stress the use of an authentic audience or partnership in our PBL units, and we ask staff to work with professionals or experts from the community and all around the country in both planning and implementing the units. We found with our largely urban and diverse population that these partnerships show the following benefits. Students engage at a much higher level with the content. They get to practice, students that is, those 21st century skills that I've mentioned before, and they also get a chance to network with these professionals. Finally, opening up our classroom to these professionals allows us to share the amazing learning happening in our classrooms in a way that is rarely recognized and acknowledged by the media. But don't let me just tell you about it, I'd like to show you.
We did a map of places you went here, and there's a couple of your letters that we got to read through. And then, so here we have, like, this is the Swiss Alps, and France is right there, and Germany, Slovakia, and Austria. And then we just map the places we took certain places.
There's England, Wales.
And the English Channel.
Well, we went down to Austria after the war.
Did you?
And we relieved the prisoner of war camp down there.
There's a display for that over there.
And when they came out, the guys came out of the prison. So we fell in there with our outfit in the States, and he transferred into this other organization. He got captured. And then that was his pride. He could talk. He's the one that talked about the soup.
I don't know about the suit. I know about the suit.
He picked up everything.
Yeah.
Told those.
A lot of them.
Of course, after that many years,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even remember getting it done. Boys and girls, men and women, certainly appreciate this. I'm not a hero. Heroes didn't come back. They were good in France and Arlington. Think about it. That's all you can do. But I appreciate everything you've done. Kevin here, all his work and everything. I'd like to give you a little memo about what to think about. I want you, each one of you, to have a coin, a quarter. I want you to take it and lay it in your bedroom or wherever. And when you see this quarter, I want you to remember all the men and women in the military that fought in World War II. And that's the only way you can remember is to see that quarter. So you start here. If you don't get one, holler at me.
So I think you can see the power of these opportunities not only for student learning but also as a service to the community. So these types of events serve a couple of needs. One, there's a student need. So we've acknowledged that authentic audience or partnerships have the highest level of student engagement and achievement. And we have data that backs that up, that students really value these experiences. Secondly, staff really needs these types of opportunities because the authentic audience or partnership pieces have the lowest level of implementation. And you can see how those things would kind of be in conflict. If students really value them, but staff are more hesitant to use them, we're not getting where we need to be. But finally, there's a community need. So the creation of these partnerships creates a link between community and classroom that has a curricular basis. These types of events invite all stakeholders in the community, including parents, other family members, business owners, and taxpayers in general, to see how their tax dollars are directly impacting student learning, achievement, and the community. And in our current educational climate of high-stakes accountability, in the A through F model, these types of public events could serve to balance the assessment of the school, framing the positive instruction happening in our schools in the community's collective mind and not reducing the public opinion down to a letter grade based largely on test scores. So the plan here is to have 4 of these curriculum-based community nights a year. And as you can see here, these would correspond with the end of the grading period and just prior to the breaks according to the balanced calendar. And this is a picture of our auditorium. So these presentations would take on 2 forms. The first form would be individual presentations that would take place here in the auditorium, or individuals or students would present, similar to TED Talks. And individuals can host what are called TEDx events, which are independently hosted and independently funded events. What's nice about that is TED will then take the content, the video content from those events, and post it to their website to share globally. And then those resources can be tweeted or posted to Facebook to really get that public perception out there into the social media world. The other presentations could take place in smaller group setting within the space currently known as the Commons. And you can see from this SketchUp what that could look like. To focus in a little bit, you can see that we would have some tables, chairs, and LCD screens that a laptop or a tablet could be hooked up to for these student presentations. So here's the budget. I understand that this is a large amount of money, but this would be the minimum amount needed to purchase cameras, microphones, those screens, tables, chairs, and everything needed to kind of pull off an event like this. We need the cameras for the TED Talk in order to make the content accessible to the web, and we need the other equipment for those smaller presentation stations that could be used at these events and throughout the school day. So I know that with an $11.6 million reduction in revenue due to the circuit breaker and numerous conversations about reducing expenditure, that this request seems a little preposterous and counterproductive. However, this spending has a direct instructional impact while also serving as a public relations opportunity that would greatly benefit the upcoming public conversations about referendums. One of the recommendations of the Distressed Units Appeals Board was a referendum, and we must start laying that groundwork now. When we show the community how the school serves it on a regular basis, we leverage that conversation in a positive direction. Furthermore, these events will provide staff with support in implementing partnerships and authentic audiences into their PBL units. But most of all, the authentic, relevant, curriculum-based PBL units serve the community surrounding the school, investing in student learning and the community at the same time. And I thank you for your time.